You're very welcome back to the show. And now, of course, we are in autumn. We're heading, of course, into the season of colds and flus and snivels and all that kind of stuff. It's time to start planning now for the colder months ahead. Now, with all that in mind, we shall be chatting about vitamins and supplements today. We have Boots pharmacist Paula Reilly with us. Paula, great to have you with us again this season. Can we chat about immunity and stuff like that first?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a range of vitamins today, which I suppose, as most people are aware, they're essential nutrients that our body need to function properly. I suppose coming into the winter months, immunity is probably one that's at the top of everyone's mind, and trying to prevent and beat off those colds and flus. So there's plenty available, I suppose, in the pharmacy that you can get to help, I suppose, catching the cold and flu, and then help minimise the symptoms if you do get it. Yeah.
I suppose the reality is, you know, the ideal diet is that we all eat perfectly well and we don't need any supplements or vitamins, but most people's diet is not like that. In the real world, we're running and racing and doing whatever, so these are to help. Vitamin C has long been proven to shorten the length of a cold. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we're all aware vitamin C has been around for years. Vitamin C along with zinc are probably two of the common ones that have been used to help immunity over the last number of years. But there are other agents as well that you can get in the pharmacy to help minimise it. But I do think it's important what you said there. Not everyone needs them. If you do eat a well-balanced diet, then brilliant. You don't necessarily need to supplement it. But unfortunately, we're all racing and rushing, and some people are on restricted diets.
Paul, one of the problems, say, if you're working away from home all the time, you're eating inside in different places, you actually really don't know what you're eating. So people take them because, okay, just in case I'm not getting what I should be getting, they take them, and that's a good thing to do as well.
Yeah, it is. Like in an ideal world, we'll all be eating home-cooked meals, but it's not always feasible to do that. So thankfully, there are, you know, vitamins on the market that you can get to supplement your diet.
Okay, so vitamin C is what we call a water-soluble vitamin. So it means that it doesn't matter how much of it you take, you get rid of it naturally through your urine.
So there's two types of vitamins that you can get. There's fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. When we talk about your fat-soluble vitamins, we're talking about vitamin A, D, E and K. And what happens with those is when we consume them, they tend to be stored in the body and then used when they're needed as such. But that can mean that they can build up in your body, and actually too much of them can cause harmful effects.
Is it hypervitaminosis?
Yeah, that's exactly
we learned this in home economics years ago. So
you probably need to take an awful lot, though, to get to that stage, I'd say.
Yeah, but more important, as I said, with vitamin A, D, E and K, you just need to be careful with those amounts. You mentioned there your water-soluble vitamins, which is your vitamin C, your folic acid. They are not as problematic. So yes, they are excreted via the urine, and they don't tend to build up in the body like your fat-soluble vitamins would do.
Should we take these all year round, Paula, or should we start taking them now, worrying about what may happen during the winter?
So again, as we mentioned, there's some, I suppose, cohort of people that need to take supplemental diet, and they must take them. And we'll talk about those categories of people in a moment. But depending on what the vitamin you're taking, you may need to take it all year round.
Okay. Now let's take a look at something like this, which is Immunity Extra, and these are, I suppose, almost like a multivitamin specifically aimed at keeping colds and flus away. What would you have in that type
So
of
in
thing?
the likes of that product, you would have your vitamin C, you would have your zinc, and you'd have a range of B vitamins as well, which kind of help with your energy levels, which tend to drop this time of year as well.
That's a good idea.
You'd have some vitamin D in there as well, which obviously coming into the winter months, we're going to have less sunshine in Ireland. So, you know, people will supplement their diet with vitamin D as well to help, I suppose,
and if you're indoors
bones.
a lot, Paula, you should take something, really, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's going to affect your mood, it's going to affect your energy levels, it's going to affect a lot of things.
Exactly, yeah, and especially, unfortunately, in this country, we're not getting the vitamin D from the sunshine.
And vitamin D, really, it's really becoming up as that kind of hero vitamin, almost like the equal now to vitamin C. And there was a British study, a recent British study, University British study, that said that vitamin D is actually now up there at keeping away respiratory issues and all that type of thing as well. So it's really kind of a hero product when it comes to busting colds and flus.
Yeah, so I suppose in the past it's been really known for, I suppose,
bones,
you know, for bones, helping absorb calcium. But yeah, some studies have come out recently as well showing that, you know, it can be beneficial with your immune system as well.
Which is great. Okay, you've got a herb there, echinacea, well known if people are into herbs. I like to take that as well, and that's kind of to give you a boost as well if you are suffering, or maybe take it before you might get a cold.
Yeah, so that's, again, it's a herbal product, as you mentioned. So it's based on long-standing use and is thought to either prevent colds or also reduce the duration of them if you do get a cold. And you'll see many products, again, that contains echinacea as well.
Is there anyone who shouldn't take all these products?
What I will always say is always check with your pharmacist, because yes, if you're on certain medications, then actually some of these might not be appropriate at all for you and might not be safe to take. So it is important to be aware of that.
And what if you're pregnant?
So if you're pregnant, there's certain, I suppose, supplements that you should absolutely take. If you're even thinking of becoming pregnant, you should be on folic acid. So folic acid is really important to take before conception and up to 3 months during pregnancy. And what that does, it helps prevent neural tube defects. So really important that if you're considering, you know, getting pregnant at all, that you are taking a folic acid supplement.
Oh, great. Then you have, a range there, Pregnant Care. They're specifically aimed for pregnancy, and again the conceptual support maybe beforehand and all that, again the folic acid and the vitamin B. But I suppose vitamin A is one vitamin that you can't take a lot of when you are pregnant.
Yeah, you're right. So that is one of the fat soluble vitamins that we mentioned, and you need to be really careful that you're not consuming anything with vitamin A. So the likes of these products wouldn't have any vitamin A in them, but as well, there's some foods like I suppose liver pâté and liver that are really high in vitamin A, and you really need to make sure that you're avoiding that when you're pregnant as well.
And Paula, you do have a list of people who should be taking what at different times.
Yeah, absolutely. And your pharmacist will be able to advise you. So we just mentioned the folic acid in pregnancy, but another one as well is babies. So any babies from birth up to 12 months, the national guidelines is that they're taking a vitamin D supplement. So a 5 microgram supplement, but your pharmacist will advise you from birth, as I said, up to 12 months.
Yeah, and you normally have those in the drops because you can put them into their, milk or formula or whatever they drink. But I actually think, Paula, just going forward with vitamin D for children, I mean, it's up to 12 months that you're advised, but beyond that as well, you can still give them a supplement of vitamin D, can't you?
Yeah, because obviously we should be protecting our children from the sunshine, and we obviously wouldn't want them, getting burned or being exposed to the sun. So absolutely no harm in continuing on that supplementation, but the national guidelines are up to 12 months, absolutely. And then thereafter, if you wish, you can still supplement them.
And there are specific vitamins, multivitamins for children as well. If you feel your kids are constantly getting colds and flus, I always think that our age kids are just, they're like walking colds.
But when they go into preschool and they go into school, they're going to pick up everything.
Every week they have a snivel.
Yeah, and then I suppose some children as well are fussy eaters, and they don't eat a full balanced diet as much as we'd like them to. So absolutely, there are supplements that are there for children, designed for children.
And it's made very, very easy for them. There's gummy bear ones and stuff like that as well. You can get them all over the place.
Yeah, mine is terrible. He won't even eat that.
Why not?
He just doesn't like the taste of them. He's one of those fussy eaters, and that includes fussy gummy bears. Yeah. So it's terrible. So if you do have, I kind of think it's not a bad idea. Now, if you do take vitamins, as though I was saying earlier on, all the year round, is it good to take a break, maybe in the summertime?
It depends what you're taking, I suppose. So with your fat-soluble vitamins, they're the ones you'd be cautious with because they can build up in the system. I wouldn't be as concerned with your water-soluble vitamins.
And what about people with chronic illness then, Paula?
Yeah, so I mean, these vitamins aren't going to cure, I suppose, any chronic illnesses, but I mean, they are, in certain instances, perhaps if you suffer from osteoporosis or various different conditions, then actually a supplement may benefit you.
They'll fight off the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's no harm. But again, your pharmacist will be able to advise. I just would be cautious if someone has a chronic illness, their medications that they're on.
Or if you're on blood thinners and all that, you have to be aware of what you take with them. Paula, as always, thank you so much.
Great to have you, Paula.
Thank you.
Boost.ie for more information on all we've been discussing there. And Paula, I believe you're back in 2 weeks' time as well.
That's right.
Yes.
Winter vaccines.
Oh my God. I cannot lose this time of the year again.
When Paul and Sinead Ryan come here, we're in winter mode.
Yeah, they're turning up the heating or giving us an injection. That's it, in that order.